It feels like cars and trucks have been with us forever, but in reality it's just a very short glimpse. It's a very short part of the human history. Horses had been carrying people and cargo and doing the heavy lifting for thousands of years until the early 1900s, when the futuristic machines, cars and trucks, took over the entire transportation business. And now, 100 years later, cars and trucks are being replaced by autonomous trailers, self-driving robotaxis, and AI-powered delivery drones. I've witnessed the evolution of the automotive industry for the past 5 decades, and today I wanted to share this piece of history with my family, with my children. So we drove 2.5 hours from Chicago to the Iowa 80, the world's largest truck stop here in Wolcott, Iowa. And right next door, they have a museum of trucking where you can see the early models of pickup trucks, of the tractors, all the way through the cab-over trucks, the iconic cab-over trucks of the 70s and 80s. So let's go inside and take a little trip down the history lane. And don't forget to check out my website, drivernest.com, where you can find truck driving jobs for hazmat and heavy haul driver. Happy birthday to Kenworth, exactly 100 years old. This is a 1925 four-cylinder Kenworth, top speed 25 miles an hour. The grandfather of heavy haul, 1926 Mack with a top speed of 25 miles an hour. A Coca-Cola delivery truck for the 1944, top speed 45 miles an hour. This is a pretty good comparison of the trucks from the 1920s and trucks from the 1940s. This is a 1945 Ford right next to a Ford from year 1966. Here we have a 1966 cab-over Freightliner truck. This is a bull hauler. We have a police car from 1939. This is an armored truck. A lot of trucks from the 1960s, including these Mack trucks right here, looking beautiful. Look, all colors, green, yellow, red, black. Here's a Mack truck from the year 1915 with a top speed 24 miles an hour. 4-speed transmission with a reverse gear, and the dog, the Mack dog, as the driver. No way. What's the truck's name? Hank.
What?
Wow, 1981.
It looks like our dog owns this truck.
Yeah, our dog's name is Hank. So when this truck was built, do you know how old I was?
No.
Take a guess.
10.
No.
Born.
I was 1 year old. I was a baby. This is a 1981 Kenworth, and I was born in 1980. Check out this 1981 Kenworth with a Detroit diesel V8 engine, 500 horsepower, and a top speed of 100 miles an hour back in 1981, 44 years ago. Check out this 1978 Kenworth with 1,500 horsepower and a top speed of 150 miles an hour. Look, these were the trucks over 100 years ago. That was it, 25 miles an hour, top speed. Mostly wooden construction. 1969 Peterbilt 359. Miss Eileen. Look how beautiful. Gorgeous truck. This is a 1949 Freightliner. This is a 1983 Ford. So when they switched from horses to the gas-powered vehicles over 100 years ago, they had to build the infrastructure. And these are some of the first gas stations built in the 1920s. Look at the difference. 1920, 1930, 1940, and fast forward to the 1980. 1980. So over 100 years ago, if you were a horse operator, horse and carriage operator, or you worked in the transportation of people or cargo and you just used horses for that, your job was replaced by one of these machines of the future. So you either lost your job or you had to learn how to drive one of those. If you're complaining about driving a semi-truck in a big American city, that the streets are too tight, so this is the reason. All these trucks, most of the cities were built 100 or more years ago, and the trucks back then looked like this. They were much smaller than today's semi-trucks. Even when we get to the 1950s, check it out. This is the 1951 truck. The biggest truck, this 1954 Diamond, it's still a lot smaller than today's big semi. So all the streets were actually built for this type of machinery with short 30-40 foot trailers. not the big Class 8 trucks we have today with a 53-foot trailers.
That one?
We have a Shell gas station from the year 1928 and a solid rubber tire press. This was the tire service back then. The museum is open every day until 5 o'clock and it's free to public. So if you or your kids love trucks, come out to Walcott, Iowa to the world's largest truck stop, the Iowa 80, and check out, hopefully one of our fans, and check out the Trucking Museum here in Walcott, Iowa.